Calls are recorded.
Calls are recorded for quality.
So we have a special visitor today.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to introduce
It's
yourself
not
there,
not
Alex?
me.
Yeah, my name's Alex. Most of you guys would know me from Meadowbank. I met Isaac in primary school, actually. I was about to say high school, but we went to the same primary school in year 6. I met both Tyler, Jordan, and Blake through Meadowbank, and then out of nowhere, they all
now you're in our
decided
house.
to... Yes. For some reason, I'm up in the Gold Coast.
Now we
I don't
can't
know
get him
what's
out of
going
our house. Can someone help?
Yeah. And I'm stuck on the couch.
My guy fanged it up to Gold Coast in his 86.
Yeah, mate. That's got to be some sort of world record.
Proper fang.
Yeah, proper fang. It was like a 9 to 5, sort of.
You did it quicker than I freaking did it.
Fucking 8 hour
He brought a couple of bugs with him.
Oh, bro.
Bugs on the way.
The amount of bugs on the car is insane. Fucking hell. And then, of course, it rains again today and it's straight dirty again.
Dude. That's why I've been so hesitant to clean my car, because it's like, fuck, the day I clean it, it's going to piss down the next day for sure.
Well, I did piss down
It
today.
literally deluged the most rain we've had in a single day since we got here. The day after we cleaned the cars.
Don't wash on a Thursday because it's going to rain on a Friday.
Legit.
Now, Alex, so you're the current owner of Meadowbank at the moment. What is
Yes.
Meadowbank?
Yeah, look, you guys haven't really spoke about it in depth, I guess.
We did. When did we touch on it? Was it like the first episode?
We need to touch on it just
Yeah, it was
like
very
pretty
brief.
often so then people get it drilled in their heads.
Yeah.
But I don't think you guys have gone in depth about sort of...
If Alex is the one that's consuming the podcast and he doesn't think that we've gone in depth, then we probably haven't.
Look, to be fair, I may
Did
have...
you watch the first couple of episodes?
Yeah, I've watched all of them, but like I watch them on the train, so
Yeah.
I could well be in and out of focus.
Mm.
But,
Anyway, we can
yeah,
give
yeah.
them,
Well,
give everyone a refresh.
yeah, so Meadowbank Mondays is just our local fitness community. Started back in mid 2022 last year, so it's been over a year now. It originally started as myself, Isaac, Aiden, and a couple of our other friends. Isaac had roped us into getting into calisthenics, which was honestly just a life-changing moment. I don't even know what the start was. I just sort of went to the park one day with Isaac, and then it was all uphill from there. But yeah, it all sort of we began sort of midday. We used to go down to Meadowbank and train, and then we'd head to West Ryde Macca's afterwards because, of course, that's what you got to do.
Still have.
Still do. I know. Sometimes when we run out of snags, we'd go to Macca's anyway. So, but yeah, so it evolved from like a weekday kind of. Oh, sorry, not a weekday. A midday little friend workout, and then Isaac got some other people involved, and then all of a sudden we're like, fuck it, let's just make this public. We made the Instagram page. Isaac did his magic networking skills, and all of a sudden there was like 80 people a week. But since then, since the big boom at sort of end of last year, it's kind of quietened down. But I actually do enjoy the sort of quieter nights where there's maybe 20, 30 people. You can get a good workout in. Dude,
The quieter nights, there's 20 or 30 people.
Well, that's kind of our average.
The non-chest bra ones.
20 is kind of our average now. 25 maybe. But
The non-chest bra meetups, you mean?
yeah, like because the chest bra meetups were just insane. Like 100 people, 120 people. Like
Shout out chest bra.
shout
And
out.
Constable Joey.
Constable
It
Joey.
was his birthday yesterday, wasn't
That
it?
is a story to
Who,
tell.
Constable Joey or chest bra?
Constable Joey.
Constable Joey's
Yeah.
birthday yesterday.
That's
you
with
reckon?
Joey Chad.
Yeah. But oh geez, those big sessions, you just can't get anything done. You got to keep track of a bunch of people. I mean, I wasn't managing Meadowbank at the time. Isaac was, so that was his constable's problem to deal with. So I mean,
Yeah.
We had one instance and then we left.
Yeah.
Isaac got sick of it. He was like, "Stuff this."
Yeah, but now
it wasn't
Alex
just
is running.
because of that. It was like a whole lead up to it. I was trying to pump the content. I was constantly on my camera filming. Didn't have enough time to like talk to people and create genuine connection. I was just always filming stuff and making sure the meetups were going smoothly. But of course, a small park like Meadowbank, it requires a bit of a limit every now and again. But now we have a comp coming up. We're going to pump the numbers again.
yes,
Get as many people coming as possible.
yeah, that's the plan.
Very much so. And I heard there's some competitions at Meadowbank as well.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
what we're talking about. Yeah, the rep comp.
Sets and reps 2023. This is the second edition, I guess.
Yep, 28th of November.
Yeah.
27th.
7th. Yeah.
Yeah. We did it last year, and it was pretty insane. I wasn't there, but we had some insane athletes that
Yeah, it was a
came.
good
and
one.
Didn't Jacob do like 82 dips or something ridiculous? Like Jesus Christ!
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was
Yeah.
like my third meetup, fourth meetup.
Yeah, I got struck with glandular fever, and that was absurd. I remember I tuned in on the live stream, and Isaac was, or maybe it was Jeff who was filming on the live stream, and
Sounds about
I
right.
was typing in chat, and they're like, "Alex,
Sounds a
come
bit
down." I'm
sus.
like, "Bro, I'm dead sick. I cannot." I would have loved to go, but yeah, it's good to sort of relive the legacy again this year. Sets and reps.
Carrying it on.
Yeah, exactly.
Is sets and reps your go, or you prefer?
Look, I haven't really had enough time to delve too deep into the statics yet, I don't think, because I've only been doing it just for about over 2 years now. I don't think I've been training as hard as you guys either.
So you got into it 2 years ago. How was
Yeah.
that? Was that through Isaac?
That was
and
through
stuff?
Isaac. I honestly can't remember what it was that sparked it initially, but Isaac and another friend of mine, Tamash, who some of you may know or heard of, we went to Pioneer Park. That was the original, before Meadowbank was Pioneer Park.
What's that at?
It's near Macquarie Centre.
Oh yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one with the baseball
Yeah,
court.
Yeah.
That's a mad,
field,
yeah.
baseball field opposite
Yeah.
the Coles Express.
Yeah.
The Shell.
Yeah, and I was basically like 2 pull-ups max. And I was like, right,
Damn. It's like full beginner.
full beginner. I was,
Wow.
at the time, I think I was 70 kilos. And then I went from like 2 pull-ups to like 10 pull-ups in about 2 weeks, got my first muscle up within the month.
Shit.
So like the baby gains were insane.
Yeah.
But I think the reason why I progressed so quickly, so early, was because I had a pretty solid foundation with swimming. And that's a lot of like pulling movements and stuff. And so there was sort of already a bit of a base there.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as you're not like a couch potato and you do some sort of sport, you kind of always pick things up. You tend to pick things
Yeah.
up quickly, I think.
Yeah, I've been big sport for pretty much my whole life.
Yeah. Like Tyler you had boxing, right?
Boxing and AFL.
Yeah. See, and like
AFL.
they don't really have any direct translation to calisthenics,
Yeah.
but because you have that sporting background, you also know what it's like to work hard for something as well.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? Like if you
Yeah.
play any sport, you train any
Or at least that you're
any
dedicated to.
discipline. Yeah, you know what working hard is like. So you can just convert it to calisthenics pretty easily.
Yeah, and you know you got to turn up to training every time. And it doesn't matter whether you don't want to. You still just got to go.
That's
It's a lot
it.
easier with the community too.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
one thing I like about Meadowbank and just any sort of community street workout group. It just keeps you accountable.
Mm.
I know that every Monday at 7 o'clock I'm going to be training. Like,
And if you're not, someone will message up.
yeah, well, if
Yeah, you
I'm
cop
not,
it.
then there's no lights, no speaker, and then everyone else is going to be in the dark.
And you definitely progressed really fast because you had people helping you at Pioneer Park.
Yeah, 100%. If I didn't have Tomash and Isaac helping me out, I remember we did so many assisted pull-ups where Isaac was holding my feet. So many of those. And without that I would have been very much slower in the beginning.
It's not just the accountability and the motivation, but just helping you through the movement
Yeah.
when it got hard, and also making the movement harder for yourself by adding resistance when it got too
Yeah.
easy. That definitely just elevated your level.
Yeah.
And
Free
also
coaching.
the background of water polo.
Yeah. It was crazy when I went back to water polo the summer season after I started calisthenics and after I'd gotten my muscle up and my pull strength had gone sort of through the roof. I remember getting in the water and doing a couple strokes. I'm like, oh, here we go. Got a bit of extra power here.
Like literally
Jump
Stats
scare.
you're pulling your body through the liquid mass with the force of a one-arm pull-up.
Yeah.
2 arms.
Strength,
But you weren't even treading water with your legs.
bro.
Yeah, when I went back to playing tennis with my dad, I was hitting balls with my racket with the force of a 90-degree handstand push-up.
One arm 90-degree handstand push up.
Yeah.
The forearm.
Carryover is so great.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like Kip,
Man's built
He-
different.
He was
he's a
he did-
swimmer as well.
Yeah, he did swimming before.
Nationals, right?
Yeah, he was better than I was at swimming. But I think he got like he's been doing calisthenics less than I have.
Yeah, not long.
And he's insane. And he's 16 and he's gonna be a prodigy. I'm calling it already.
Man, the young guys when they get into Cali,
Mm.
it's like fuck.
So nice to see though.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's awesome.
I love it.
But it's just like
Makes me wish I started younger, but I still
you
love
just you know what's coming. You see like I'm 23. You see a guy that's 16 and he's like doing some crazy shit, and I'm just like, wow. When I'm in awe and I'm like, wow, that guy's got 7 more years till he gets where I am. That's gonna be crazy.
That was my biggest fear when I first started. I didn't want to quit because then if someone that was really young mocked me in public, then I would feel internally disappointed. I can't be mocked now.
it. Afraid of being mogged by.
I'm
like
not afraid
16-year-old.
of that because I won't never be mocked.
You're not yeah.
Deleted being mocked
Yeah.
from his.
Well, you got planche now, so it's like it's whatever. You can just pop one out.
He's cooking with it.
But it's crazy because in February I didn't have an ounce of planche. I
Yeah.
made it my strongest move.
That's because that's all you train.
Yeah,
there.
you dropped everything
Right.
Yeah,
else.
I dropped everything else.
Yeah, burn the
Paid
boats.
off.
Yeah.
Paid off very much. So.
It's possible to change and be good at your weakness.
Yeah, that's kind of my plan with front lever next year, because I've basically only dipped a toe in the water in that field. I've been doing a lot of weighted pull-ups this year and trying to fix up my one arm. Like I wouldn't seriously call it an unlock, but I want to try see how front lever goes next year. I haven't even given it a go, and just try and go full steam ahead into front lever and see what happens.
Yeah.
Bro, quote moment. The greatest periods of our life occur when we gain the courage to rechristen what is bad about us as what is best.
Yep, that's really good.
I like
Beyond,
that one.
beyond good and evil.
Yeah.
Friedrich Nietzsche.
Very nice.
Nietzsche.
You said
Yeah.
you dedicated to planche
He's
to
weakest.
turn your weakness into your strength.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the quote's about.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I started off as a sets and reps athlete. And then when I met Javier and Jai at the Bush Bar, I was literally converted from a weighted calisthenics athlete to a dynamics athlete. That's like the most contrasting aspect of the
Did you have a
sport.
front lever though at that point?
Yeah, I had like 3 presses front lever. I could do 90 degrees as well, but inconsistently. And
How long
I
ago was
was
this?
This was December 26, 2022.
Yep.
3 p.m.
Yep.
And
3
I
p.m.
got converted.
many minutes?
I got
That's how
converted.
when you know the encyclopedia's active.
Yeah.
It's got the time stamp.
I did a 360 in 2019. Didn't touch the freestyle bar at all until that day at the Bush Bar. I landed the 360 after like 8 attempts. At that point, I really wanted to prove to like Javier and Hajai that I can do what they do, and I want to be part of the community. So let me show you how serious I am about this by doing dynamics and stepping out of my comfort zone. So I went from weighted calisthenics, literally on creatine and trying to bulk. I was doing leg day as well and weighted calisthenics.
What's that?
And then I started getting into dynamics. That was
I feel like
really
it's
weird.
a bit easier though. You're also training with freaking guns. They're pretty good at that.
Yeah, you got to surround yourself with
Yeah.
people that are better than you.
Yeah, both of those reasons are kind of
Right.
why I came up here. One was to like, I'm going to be around these guys who are insane at Cali, who've got great mindset. And the other reason's like, all right, well, I've got my foot well in the door with this calisthenics stuff. I got to try and impress these guys, you know.
Mm. Yeah, you're
Now
done
you're
well.
sleeping on our couch.
The couch is not bad. I've slept on worse couches, that's for sure.
Yeah, you're
It's
done
the
well.
floor, eh?
Thanks,
Mm.
Blaine.
How have you found the week anyway?
Actually, really good. Like, I'm normally one who needs a fair bit of sleep to like wake up and feel functional. Like, I need to get like 8 hours of sleep and I'll be good.
So what's your schedule like?
Usually it's 12 till 8 sleep.
Yep.
And then, well, actually, when I was working before, it was more like 11 till 7.
Yep.
And then work from 8 till 4. And then study,
Mhm.
dinner, study.
That's pretty full on.
Yeah. The last couple of weeks I've been very slack with my training just because uni's insane. I got exams next week.
Yeah, you've been studying like a crazy guy.
Yeah.
Dude,
Even
you
up
don't
here.
you don't understand. Last weekend, last week I did 4 14-hour days at uni.
Dude.
Like,
That's 4 more than I've ever
yeah,
done.
got to I'd get into uni at 10, and then I'd leave at 12 in the morning because we'd have a group assignment due, and then I'd be home at like 1.
That's the same amount of hours I did at uni for like a whole semester, I swear.
Yeah, no, uni's
That's
been
dedication, man.
real rough this semester.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is by far my hardest one that I've done.
It's good dedication though.
Look,
Getting
yeah,
through it.
almost done third year, and then I got honours next year, and then I'm out. So
Yeah, man.
I'm keen to be done, to be honest.
I think everyone kind of reaches that point when they get towards the second half of their degree. I was
Yeah.
like that my third year when I was doing my undergrad. And then I went and did half of a master's. So
Yeah, undergrad's crap. Let me just go try that again.
Stay and do something harder.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a good topic. Like lots of people that are watching to university.
Mm.
So I reckon we
Yeah. You got your shovel,
Dabble.
go on, have a dig.
go into a little bit more about
Dig into it. Dig into the
about
topic.
how we got here and our education
Oh, okay, yeah.
journey.
This could be interesting.
Fuck, I get the short straw of that.
Didn't you have a go at uni like
Yeah.
really early, and then you were like, fuck that?
Yes, I did. I did high school, and then after high school, I did uni for one semester, and then I dropped out.
I feel like if you're going to drop out,
Do it straight
you
away.
should drop out after this first semester.
Yeah,
There's so many people who go straight into uni out of high school who shouldn't be doing uni just because that's not the thing for them. And like coming from someone who's very much like a uni person, that was like straight out of high school, I knew that was what I wanted to do.
You observe it.
There's plenty of people I know that went into uni and that's like probably not the right thing for them purely because they just don't enjoy it and it's not going to benefit them in the long run.
I knew in year 10 that I didn't want to go to uni, but I still finished high school and went through it the first semester just to solidify my mind that it wasn't for me.
Yeah, that's fair.
Valid.
What about you, Tyler? Because
Never been to uni.
you did TAFE, right?
Yeah, I only went to uni at UTS food cafeteria for food.
When did you start your apprenticeship?
Straight out of high school.
Yeah, okay. So you
Yeah,
didn't
like
start
I was
early.
working as a Sparky through my HSC.
Oh, right. Okay, so you did start it early.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, but I didn't have my apprenticeship then. I was just still working.
Yeah.
'Cause I
I
did it all
honestly
through high
reckon
school.
it's a smart idea. Like you get paid to learn.
Yeah.
Whereas with uni, it's the complete opposite. You're just like sinking infinite money for all your time and you get like a piece of paper in return.
Yeah, for me it was pretty easy because I was already working as a Sparky prior to it.
Yeah.
I did all school holidays back when I was younger. So I just sent like a text message midway through HSC when I said, no,
Yeah.
can I sign up? I got a yes, and then I was
Yeah,
finished
that's
off
fair though.
HSC.
Like it just solidifies a path for
Yeah.
you to go down. Like if HSC is not your thing and uni's not your thing, like what else are you gonna do?
Well, I did plan on going to uni. I like questioned it midway through HSC, and then just because I questioned it, I just
Yeah.
didn't want to do it. 'Cause
Did you know what degree you wanted to do?
I was looking at doing an engineering.
Yeah. Okay.
But
You got
yeah, I
something
didn't.
funny to say?
Just having a slight chuckle.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I realized I questioned it, and I was like, I don't want to sign up at something out like for 4 years and question if I want to do it or not at the
Yeah.
end of it. So I was like, my thought process being because I want to do electrical engineering. I'm being a Sparky anyway, so it shaves off a year anyway once
Yeah.
I complete my course. If I want to go back to uni, so I'd rather do an apprenticeship earlier rather than later. I'd rather do apprenticeship for 4 years than go to uni if I wanted to, or instead of go to uni for 4 years then start an apprenticeship.
Yeah. I originally actually this is a weird story with my uni enrollment process. So I originally started with I'd enrolled in civil engineering and architecture. Like I'd literally enrolled in it like once we got our ATAR results and stuff. And then I went to go select my units of study and I'm looking through them and I'm seeing art theory, architecture history, and I'm like, it just sounds so boring to me. I'm not a writing person, so I was like, you know what? Screw that.
Numbers.
Numbers. I'll stick with numbers. So I enrolled in electrical engineering, even without like any previous sort of want to do that degree. And I did a first semester of it, and I was like, you know what, this is good, probably better than the civil. That was a good decision. But then I'd seen some other people doing mechatronics, which is sort of a sub branch of electrical engineering with a bit of mechanical on the side. And I'm like, you know what, I want to be a bit more hands-on. It's engineering. I'm hoping I can actually build some things. And I switched across to mechatronics, and it was 100% the best decision. Get to actually build stuff. Get to actually do.
So you enjoyed that a bit more.
Yeah, 100%. All the projects in mechatronics are super
And did you know
cool.
straight from the get go you enjoyed it, or
Yeah, as soon as I switched to mechatronics, there was one subject I did which was like very hands-on-y circuit stuff, and I was like, okay, this is the right decision.
So it was completely different to what you originally thought.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, going into uni, you're not gonna be able to predict what you're gonna like. And I know that sounds weird because I'm sure there's people that from the get go are like, oh, I want to be a doctor. I wanted to be a doctor for 3 years or whatever. You might get in there and absolutely hate it. So,
What about you, Blake? What was your uni experience?
I think pigeonholing yourself into one career path is the most stupid thing you can do before you go to uni or before anything. I know so many people that have said, yep, I knew I wanted to do this from the get-go. Even if when I heard them say that, they'd been working for 10 years in that career, I still think they're stupid. I think it's so stupid because how would you ever know if there was a better opportunity for you or something that you would enjoy doing more if you haven't at least assessed your best 4 to 5 options, best 3 to 5
3 to 5 options.
Options with a specialist.
So many people are made redundant these days as well before they retire. From my experience, my job role.
And yeah, so my experience personally, well, I don't know, I've been through a few different phases of how I feel about uni. At the start, like I had a lot of sort of external pressure to go to uni. I think as like most kids do these days, when you finish school, like
Go to uni.
yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much the option.
Yeah,
only
yeah,
option.
pretty much like your parents are pushing you to go to uni.
Or even just like, I feel like socially it's a bit more.
Yeah. Well,
It's like, oh, what uni going on?
I had a lot of pressure from my parents to go to uni. They both did, and they both did accounting. So I naturally gravitated to the same thing. Maths runs in the family. Like we're all sort of mathematical, numbers-based people. So I went down that path only because I knew I pretty much had to go to uni out of, the external pressure factor. And I had no idea what I wanted to do. So I just thought, all right, I'll do commerce, accounting, because everyone just dives into commerce. That's like what more than 50% of people do when they finish school. Did that, and I thought, okay, yeah, I'll just see how it goes, whatever, and figure it out as I go, which personally I think is a great way to do it. Honestly, like people talk about wasting time and like don't go to uni if you don't know what you want to do, this, that, yada, yada. There's no other way to find out what you want to do without ruling things out and finding out what you don't want to do. There's just no other way. If you say, yeah, don't go to uni until you know what to do, well, then you'll just never go to uni.
Yeah,
Plain and
100%.
simple.
I think it's good to try it, and then if you don't like it,
Yeah,
quit doing it.
for
Don't
sure.
do it for the next 4
For sure.
years.
So that was my situation. I got towards the end of my accounting degree, and I thought, like the course personally was. This is not really to brag. I just found it really bland and sort of easy, straightforward to understand. I didn't think it was very
You get it? Fucking smart.
stimulating or like whatever. But got towards the end of it, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not really interested in doing this long term as a career. I was like, I'll finish the course because I'm almost at the end of it. And that was what got me interested in statistics, because the one thing that is really good about uni, especially, I don't know about every degree, but at least with the commerce one, is you get a taste of everything. You do like economics, finance, stats, accounting, and then I'm pretty sure at most unis you get elective units, which is like 50% of your degree, which when I was in this position, when I was sort of thinking, I don't really want to do accounting as my career, and I was finishing my course, sort of 2 years in, I thought, this is the most stupid thing. It's such a waste of time. Only half your degree is actually your degree, and then the other half is just whatever you want to do. It makes no sense. They're just robbing you of money. But now I'm thinking it actually makes a lot of sense, because most people that are doing an undergraduate degree, even if most of them don't know what they want to do, and the ones that think they know what they want to do don't actually know what they want to do. So pretty much everyone doesn't know what they want to do. So it's a really good idea to force all of the people that are doing that undergraduate degree to experience different fields and different things. Like I did like a criminology degree, absolutely not a degree, a unit, an elective unit, absolutely loved it. I hated the writing, so I never went down that path. I couldn't do the whole writing thing.
Yep.
But I loved the unit, and I'm sure there's so many other people who have done that, like I did with the stats thing. I did one stats unit in my first 2 years in my accounting degree, and that was what sent me down the stats path to do the first year of my master's and potentially continue that on at a later date. But yeah, that's the general point. Yeah, is I think it's a bad idea to go into anything closed-minded, especially something as big as your career, like what you're going to do for the rest of your life, especially now, because now like the typical person does like 5 or 6 different jobs in different careers and whatever in their life.
Imagine switching careers.
Like look at you. Yeah. Look at you. You've done a full 360, mate.
I sit down all day now.
Bloody 180.
He's in finance.
So
Yeah.
Electrician
exhibit
to
A
finance
right
is
there.
possibly the biggest curveball ever.
Literally. But that's everyone now. That's everyone now. Everyone does like at least 3 or 4 completely different things with their career in their
Yeah.
life. That's just
My
how it
mum
works.
is a fantastic example of this. Her first degree out of uni was food tech. She went and did like flavoring for food companies and stuff.
Yep.
And then she went back, like I think 5 or 10 years later, did teaching, completely different. Went and became a high school teacher.
Yeah.
In Hong Kong.
She taught in Hong Kong. She taught
That's
at
Oh, that's right. Yeah, in Hong Kong.
she taught in Sydney, and then she went back. How long ago was it now? It's probably almost 10 years ago now, and went and did midwifery. So again, like completely different thing. But like 40 years old going to university, there's nothing stopping you. Like I understand that it's not the best decision for everyone to go to uni, but like if you're not happy with where you are, nothing's going to change if you don't change.
Yep. I don't think it's a case of, and this goes back to what I was saying as well. I don't think it's a binary thing of, you know, uni's good or bad. It's completely dependent on this individual situation, the person.
Well, depending on what you want to do. If you need to go to uni for what you want to do, go to uni.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
it's not even about that. Like, because like I said, most people, even the ones that think they know what they want to do, don't actually know what they want to do. They find something else and they get dragged here and there and whatever, and they end in a completely different spot to where they thought. Like, look at me. I did an accounting degree, started doing stats, and now I'm doing something that's pretty much got very little to do with either of them. You know, so I think it's about just remaining open-minded and exploring all your possible options to the best of your ability. Obviously, you can't try every single thing under the sun. There's just too many things and not enough time. But the best thing you can do is explore as many as possible and at least get some direction. You know, like do some sort of business thing, do some sort of science thing, do some sort of like physical labor, just like, you know, dabble in different fields. And then once, if you do some sort of physical labor and go, oh, I like that, well, then you can investigate what different options are in that thing and then kind of hone in on one specific thing eventually. I think that's the best way to go about it.
Do you think that's very similar to what school's for in terms of that, finding what industry or area that you
I
like?
think school sucks at that. Because if school did a good job of that, you'd leave school having more of an idea of where you want to go.
I think
School's
that's
so shit at that.
I think that's one of the worst things. That's one of the things that school is worst at.
Yeah.
There's way too many people who have no idea what the fuck they want to do.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad because like there's so many people who have so much potential, but they're just drifting. They don't have any direction, which like it's not always their fault.
Yeah.
You know.
I agree. I think the biggest flaw with school is it promotes content education rather than like fundamental, I guess,
Life skills.
no, fundamental like thinking. School doesn't promote free thought. It promotes study this and answer questions based on this specific content. You have to learn what we tell you to learn and you have to do an assessment, and it's right or wrong. It's binary. It's not like use your imagination, your creativity, develop your actual skills of thought and imagination and creation and figure it out for yourself. It's like, this is right. You have to do it this way. You finish school and then it's all on your own. You know what I mean? You don't have someone breathing down your neck saying, you got to learn this, you got to learn that. You know, you're getting a bad note if you don't do your homework. You go to uni and it's all on you. Polar opposite. And then same thing with the direction that you want to head in. You have no guidance. The world's your oyster. You can pick whatever you want. And going from being in school where you're told every single thing you have to do down to the minute of every day, like you were literally hustled around school by force.
It is not a bad thing though. I learned a lot from that method of
Me too.
learning.
I learned a lot.
Like getting 13 units and then having to learn different things for each different topic. Well, for myself, you never really even get a chance to make sure that all the units are like similar. They're always very branched out. So like music, modern history, economics, advanced English and standard maths. I just expose myself for being dumb. But like those are completely uncorrelated stuff.
Yeah.
But I learned how to juggle all of that because it was so different. So today I'll be doing like full-time training and then via Valenti, my own personal training, street workout Australia competitions while also juggling a 40-hour work week for my job. And it just feels natural because I kind of pressured myself to get stuff done in school. It builds you that stress, and during that time I was also training while doing like HSC studying. Not that I studied, but I learned to be efficient while having lots of things going on.
Yeah, I'm very similar. I feel like school taught, even though I didn't use my ATAR or anything. I actually can't remember what I got for that. I think I got around 70.
Yeah, I think I got like 68.
Anyway, it felt like I learned how to study properly and learn.
Yeah, 100%.
For me, so like that's been very beneficial for myself. Like especially when it came to TAFE, it made TAFE so easy.
Yeah,
so
interesting.
easy. Just because for me, it gave me that foundation to learn.
I find that really interesting.
Because for me, I wasn't the brightest kid. So it gave me good foundation to grow off that.
Oh, I did TAFE as well. I forgot about that.
You did TAFE? What?
PT?
I know. I did Cert 3. Didn't bother doing Cert 4. But
Bro,
I realized that was a
not know
scam
this?
as well.
When did
I
you
forgot-
when
I
did you
forgot
finish
as well.
cert?
I knew that.
I did my Cert 3 in fitness after I dropped out of uni.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. I was going to do Cert 4, but then I just realized that personal training at the gym and having a certificate is a scam.
You're right. You want to
Experience is way more valuable.
Yeah.
Personal experience of
Another
And
And also
making it
my niche was too niche.
too small.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, I guess your stuff didn't apply to clients super broadly.
Yeah. Nor did I want to teach old people how to do cardio and lose weight.
Yeah.
Because
boring.
during that time when I was doing Cert 3, I was training you guys.
Yeah.
And I realized
okay.
this is something that could actually be more beneficial. I don't require a certificate to
paper.
show people that I can teach.
So do you agree, Alex, with the learning?
Well, we got the smart kids versus the dumb kids. This isn't
The
fair.
Yeah,
learning
I 100% agree with the learning thing.
From school?
I got all of my studying discipline from year 11 and 12. 100%.
We're
And
not
I
smart
think-
like you, mate.
Bro,
I
I
think
killed
I
it.
just
I was
completely
watching Alex in
disagree,
high
that's why.
school. This guy was the hardest worker.
I think most of my study discipline actually came down to having a fucking awful physics and chemistry teacher. I had to teach everything
goated
myself.
physics teacher.
Like I didn't have a choice to sit back and just like learn in the classroom because I knew I had to teach myself if I wanted to get good marks. And like they give you the textbook, they give you all the resources, and you then have to deal with it. And I think that's one really interesting thing when it comes to once people graduate into uni, you find that all the private school kids who had great teachers and was sort of spoon-fed their whole high school career, then get into uni and it's all on them and they flop.
Yeah, they lose that guidance.
Yeah, and because all the smart kids that come from public schools, they did it all themselves. You know, well, not all. That's a large, a large grouping. But I've seen that disparity happen with private school kids, sort of sitting on the, I don't know, just getting spoon fed, and then they opened up to the real world and they realize they have to actually work for themselves.
Disclaimer. I'm pretty sure Joe watches this.
Joe who? Bagara.
Yeah.
Look, I think it was his first semester teaching chemistry. So I mean, and I think he knows that there was some things he needed to work on. I don't want to lie about it, but he gave us the resources. Absolutely, it was just there was some certain things that he didn't particularly engage with many people with.
I was lucky. I had a goated physics teacher.
Yeah.
Absolute machine.
Yeah.
Mr. Gardner.
No, Joe's awesome.
Oh mate, don't get me wrong. He's got the best attitude ever,
Yeah.
and he was actually a great companion to have throughout year 12 with chemistry. He just, I don't know. I think for some of the class there was some things he missed. But look, if he's listening, Mr. Vergara, you're fantastic.
I just got to recatch it. Well, I didn't have Mr. Gardner. It was Mr. Bryers.
Hey?
Different teacher.
No,
I said
I'm
the
talking
wrong-
about-
I was talking about me before. I just said the wrong teacher.
You said Joe. You're talking about
Vigora.
Joe Boy, yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was talking
yeah.
about me. I just said Gardner, but I had Briars.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah.
So do you guys think that you learn better when you enjoy what you're learning,
I agree.
or
Yeah.
or are intrinsically motivated to learn it yourself?
That's the only way I can learn.
Yeah.
I can't.
That motivates you.
Yeah. So would you say that school?
Get ready.
Spit it out.
I'm trying to think of how to phrase it, but would you say that school works against that, in the sense that you're forced to learn things rather than encouraged to
Learn what you want.
enjoy learning?
For me, like in the subjects I really did enjoy, I was extra motivated for that because I enjoyed the subjects. Like I wanted to do well in it. So like over that compared to my other subjects that I didn't enjoy, that's when it felt like shit.
I enjoyed learning. I just hated.
Like I didn't care about learning about.
I hated tests.
I kind of liked them if I liked the subject.
Like, I flogged all my subjects. Like I'll never pass a test in high school. I don't even know how I was even allowed to proceed with the HSC. No, but like take economics for example. Shout out to Mr. Richards.
Oh, that's
No, but
a good one.
No, I'm a bad student because I'm shit at tests, but I'm a good listener, and he liked me because I was listening. Because I'd read up on real estate all the time in my free time because I just like the thought of housing, and it proved useful because now I'm in finance. But like I always pay attention to economics, but I can't answer a single question in a test to save my life. And now it's carried over to my career path. And then like advanced English, I'll do absolutely horrible at Arundale's class. I won't pass a single test, but I sat at the front, slept sometimes when I'm tired, but I learned a lot of things, and now all that storytelling and all that analysis of texts, that's carried over into how I create content for social media and analyze people's YouTube videos and how they present a story and kind of just piggyback on that. So I do take things, I take learning into my own hands. I don't try to prove to the school system that I am this. I just simply absorb and observe. But yeah.
I think with me, with uni now, there's certain subjects I hate, there's certain subjects I enjoy. Like you guys have seen me at the table doing bloody thermodynamics. I hate it. It's awful. But either way, I still have to get my shit done. Like whether I like it or not, there's like I still have to study for it anyway. So it's not so much whether I like it or not, it's whether
You're driven.
yeah, it's whether I'm in a good state of mind, whether all my other stuff's going well, how much time I have. So like I quit my job in October to study because I didn't have enough time. And like I was just getting so overflowed with things to do, and doing an extra 2 days a week was just not working. So like, yeah, it basically for me, I just have to get my stuff done. I don't really have a choice.
Yeah, interesting.
Now, speaking of learning, what do you guys think about learning new skills in forms of progressions?
I think
Be
it's
more specific with the question.
Like, is there any progressions that you think aren't useful, or that may hinder or kind of pull you in a circle?
For what?
Any, like a muscle up?
yeah. Here we go. Everyone knows, and all the Meadowbank guys, if they're listening to this, they know I hate people that practice their muscle up or train towards a muscle up with a band. And the reason I say this is because the form for using a band with a muscle up does not translate across to your normal muscle up as soon as you take that band away. As soon as you take that band away, the muscle memory just turns to mush. There's no value. Well, there's some value. The transition kind of...
Yeah, you wouldn't argue that you get more value out of doing a full muscle up with a band than not doing a full muscle up without a band.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like, I mean, it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
But I think there's so many more efficient ways and better ways to learn quickly how to do a muscle up and get the form down. But that's just my opinion. I'm also the least experienced here. So.
Isaac?
Well, I believe the muscle up is not even an exercise that you should even do. Like, if I were to have my way, I won't even do the muscle up.
I love
as a
muscle
beginner.
ups.
You wouldn't learn it.
I think the muscle up's the gateway into calisthenics.
I think it is the gateway,
It's
but
necessary to know how to do one.
Yeah, it's a milestone. It's not something you
Yeah,
should
yeah.
sit on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like I never
Like,
trained.
none
for a
of us,
muscle up, I
none of
just
us
did a
do,
muscle up.
none of us do muscle ups as part
Yeah.
of our workouts.
See, but it's like just
Oh, I do.
it's just a checkpoint.
Well, not lately.
No?
You don't. You can't even.
Because what
know
what
what you're on
Gribble.
about.
what is the muscle up as a tool? It's just a it's just a movement to express your explosive power in pulling. It's not a push exercise because it's
Say that again. Say it again.
It's a
Express your-
platform to express your explosive power in pulling.
Explosive power and pulling. Ladies and gentlemen, if anyone's watching and they're training muscle up, do your fucking high pulls.
Yes, do your
That's
high pulls.
all you need to train if you want to
'Cause
get a good muscle up.
Is the muscle up a pushing movement? No, the straight bar dip is piss easy.
Everyone can do a straight bar dip.
Is
No one can
the,
pull
is
their
the
belly
muscle up a core exercise? No. You can do a L sit raise. It's so easy. Is the muscle up a swinging exercise?
No.
No.
Shouldn't be. No.
It's a explosive pulling movement. Now, if you can pull the bar to your waist, what is a muscle up then? It's just literally leaning forward and doing a micro dip.
Yep.
Like, would you rather have no injuries and no stress and no anxiety about whether or not I'm going to get this muscle up or not? Or would you just rather progressively overload and do high pull-ups like really well without any injuries, and you can just take off bands or increase volume with bands and just keep powering on and do the explosive pull-up? Or do you want to risk your wrists getting crushed when you fail a resistance band muscle up? Like, you think you're going to go over the bar, but then you don't, and so you end up chicken winging it, or you just push through the pain and then
Yeah,
crushing
that
your
shit's
wrist.
hard to watch.
The other thing
It's
about
painful.
the banded muscle up is it supplies you with the most power at the bottom, which is where you're actually the strongest. Like, because the band applies more force the more it's stretched out. When you get to that transition where all the beginners need the extra oomph, that's when they lose all the power from the band, and that's when they screw their wrists.
Yeah. And at the top, it's not even the pulling exercise, it's a pushing exercise for the muscle up. When you do explosive pull-ups, the least trained range of motion for the explosive pull-up is going from your chest to your waist, and the band has the least amount of assistance from the chest to the waist, but the most amount of resistance at the bottom, where it's less, it's most trained but less useful. So you're producing more load for the most untrained part of the position, as opposed to a normal muscle up where you're providing less assistance to the most useless part of the movement, which is the dip portion.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%.
So just fuck muscle ups, basically.
Fuck muscle ups. You'll get them by doing a waist to bar pull up.
Yeah. Just train your high pulls, you'll get it eventually.
Yeah.
I still like muscle ups.
Oh, don't get me wrong, they're
do.
fun, but
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna
Get
do
out.
so many of them at the rep comp.
Leave. The door's over there.
yeah.
We're gonna do so many of them at the rep comp, but
I'm not doing rep comp.
Oh, you're not. You're also living
Yeah.
up here, so
You
I
got
mean-
it. Yeah, I think by definition you have to be able to do one rep to do the rep comp.
Ooh, pow, pow,
I can't do
pow.
a rep at the moment.
No, it's no shots fired. He's just the poor bloke's injured.
Yeah.
So there won't be any reps from him.
Talk about it.
But whenever you see me do a muscle up at Meadowbank, or just generally on my story, I always like to do a muscle up that's so explosive that it doesn't even contain the dip.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
even. Really
It's
a
just a
muscle up,
tricep
it's
extension.
massive
Just
pull.
bar to waist.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's literally just like a swimming stroke.
because I think muscle ups are a scam. It's literally a scam.
It's a scam.
I think people think they're more impressive than what they are, in my opinion. I don't think they're that
Oh,
impressive.
bro, that goes without saying. Because the lever positions are both ridiculously underrated in terms of difficulty by people who don't actually try them.
Mm.
Well, it's all the non-calisthenics athletes that think the muscle ups are impressive.
Yeah, and that's what I'm
I only
saying. The
respect the
same
really
people,
clean
the
muscle
same
up.
people will see a planche and be like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool." Like, bruh,
Yeah.
are you serious?
Yeah, like the disparity between it is insane, but people don't understand.
I still think muscle ups are good once again.
I think doing a very clean muscle up
Yeah.
is very
Gets me
difficult.
a bit going.
Yeah,
But like,
I still can't do a very, very clean
Yeah.
muscle up, and I've been training for ages.
yeah, Jay is the only person I know who's like got a proper clean muscle up.
Oh,
As in, like,
beautiful.
full straight arms. Is that what you mean by?
No, just like Oh, I
floats
guess
straight up.
Isaac
Some
as
people
well.
just make it nice, but Jay's also proportionally strong for the amount of time that he puts into calisthenics.
Yeah, actually, I don't know how much he trains, but I don't think he trains that much. And
Yeah.
he always turns up to Meadowbank and is always just pulling straight to the moon. I'm like, yeah, that's fair, bro. Respect.
Big
But-
ups, Jay.
Yeah. Well, Hugh got a question. He's this bloke, but let me fix the cameras first before I go into that. Talk amongst yourselves.
Bro, it's bad. We think exactly the same now that we live here. It's crazy.
God, living here is done
You're
something
gonna
to
get
my
back to
brain.
Sydney. I was gonna think you're a special boy.
Yeah, mate.
Oh.
I'm gonna start saying
Very special boy.
I'm gonna start saying stupid stuff. I'm just gonna think of Jordan in my head.
They're gonna put you in a straitjacket.
Yeah, you should be mildly concerned about your
mental
success
well-being.
at uni, bro.
Yeah, true. I got exams next week.
You're
I'm
gonna need
be-
all the brain
You're
cells
lo-
you can
yeah, you've
get.
lost
This
brain-
might not have been a good idea.
There's a brain cell. There's a brain cell tax when you walk into this house.
Yeah.
All right. So
Just leave them at the door, mate. You know where you put the umbrellas, the wet umbrellas?
You just
It's a brain cell compartment.
just wondering if you guys have difficulty gauging pain from your injuries when you're warmed up. I find that I'll get carried away with the movement too much and make it worse without realizing. Now, one thing he's trying to say is when you're doing a warm up, how do you know how hard to push that session from how you're feeling during the warm up?
Can I read?
I thought he was talking about when you have an
Ignore
injury.
the dick pics.
Don't ignore them. I think he's talking about if you are injured, how do you know how much to push yourself once you've warmed up?
Yeah.
You just got to know your limits.
I think
So like Isaac was saying on the last podcast, you got to break your leg. You know.
Yeah, get injured.
I've never had a proper injury.
Like,
That's because you've been training well and like following proper advice. You only
Yeah.
get injuries from like just doing a bunch of reps when you're not prepared
Or
for
doing dynamics and breaking your leg.
dynamics
doing
and,
it alley-oop.
and muscle up. Pretty
Doing
much
an
just
alley-oop.
muscle up.
And and flags as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flags.
The forbidden movement.
Just flags and alley-oops injure everyone.
Yeah.
I think Hugh's asking about when you've already been injured and you're getting back into training.
Like how with my lower lat.
Yeah. So the question would be, how do you know, if you're carrying an injury, how much you can train when you warm up, how much like you're capable of doing in that specific.
For me,
workout.
for
I think
example, when it
that's-
has come to with my lower lat, I've just been keeping it active but not pushing it too much. Like if the pain level gets up to like a 7 or an 8, where I don't want to do another rep, I just kind of leave it there. But I still keep it active. Like I still flex it, I still stretch it, I still roll it out, and I don't just leave it there. So like most training sessions, I'll do something very basic that activates it, but I won't push it. I'll just keep it going just so it heals properly.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Probably it definitely depends on the injury.
Yeah, true.
Because, like, you probably should get your injuries checked out, especially if they're bad ones. Like, don't take advice from us as
We're not the brightest.
in terms of injuries. We're not doctors. We're not qualified doctors.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I preface what I'm going to say with that. But in terms of if I get like a muscular injury, in terms of like a pull or a tear or something like that, the way I normally go about it is rest first, ice for 2 to 3 days, 20 minutes max for each ice throughout the day, and then heat after the first 2 to 3 days. And then I'll go into, usually depends how bad it is, but like say when I had my intercostal tear, about a week or two after the injury, I'll start to massage lightly. And obviously it hurts, but I massage through it, because if you generally, I think if you have a muscular injury like that and it's not a severe one, you can't really injure it more by massaging it, unless you're like digging something into it severely, at least light massaging, and you'll feel the pain to the point where like you're pushing too hard or you're massaging too hard when it's bad. But generally massaging before actually getting movement and engagement back into the muscles the way to go. So I'll do that 1 or 2 weeks in, and then depending how I feel, 2 to 4 weeks after the injury, I'll get motion back in and start with literally just moving. So when I had my intercostal tear, it was literally just moving my arm like this, and forward and just getting that muscle actually moving, and then putting like usually resistance bands I think are really good. So say for your lat, if I had that injury, I would just be doing like pulls, tie the lat around tie the
Yeah,
lat,
I got some
tie the
exercise.
bands.
Tie the ladder.
I got some I do like some scapular pulls, and I just do that.
Yeah,
just randomly.
yeah. So and start with like a really light band and then just build up to it. And then by like 4 to 6 weeks after, you should be pretty much able to get back into it, especially without re-injuring it. Like you'll have pain for sure. There's just no way to avoid pain when you're recovering from the injury. But once you're like 4 to 6 weeks out of I'd say minor injury. If it's bad, then obviously get it checked out. But 4 to 6 weeks in, you can just start getting back into it anyway, and without sort of any severe risk of re-injuring, unless you try like a max attempt the first time you get back into it, which would be clearly stupid.
Yeah, but looping back to the question, I feel like at least when it comes to knowing your limits, if it just starts hurting too much, or you think it's going to affect the recovery of the injury, you should just not pass that point when you are warming up. Like if you warm up and it's sore, don't push it that hard that day. I think that should just be something to just watch out for.
Yeah.
I notice lots of people that have injuries and they can't do their favorite move. They just stop training completely and just go ghost. For me, I've always just reverted my training style or changed my training style. But my happy place would always be just the basics. Like I get a slight injury where I can't do planche or handstand push-ups or front lever. Just go back to doing dips and pull-ups. Now, if my wrists get injured, then rings are always my best friends and wrist straps. Also, Harry, my physio at the moment, he says stimulate, not aggravate. And I thought about it and I was like, yeah, that's very true, because whenever I get injured in a specific part of my body, I'd always go through the motion of how I injured it in the first place, just to, excite the nerves and put blood flow back into that position. And it also helps me assess how much it is healed from the injury point. Yep. Whether it be like a rotator cuff injury, then I'll kind of do this and try to give it a little bit of pain, just about a 2 on the pain scale. Hey.
Stay out of it.
Stay out of it. Yeah. Sorry,
There's a bird.
There's no
Birds,
way
yeah.
the mic
Possum
picked that up, so it's that you're gonna sound like you're just talking to like an imaginary
Cast
ghost.
to the ghost, man. But anyways, back
For
to
context,
Yeah.
there was a bird making an odd noise.
But honestly, the most life-changing thing the past year and a half was steam room and ice baths.
Ice baths have been interesting. This is my first time doing ice baths.
how you
this
finding
week.
them?
I actually, obviously it's just painful and just stings your skin and whatever. But I
Get
actually
used to
didn't
it
mind
eventually.
it. I
Still
found
shit,
that the second and third rounds we were doing, I was shivering and whatever. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's a long 4 minutes. But
Were you watching the clock as well?
I was trying not to, and this is something I learned from swimming. Actually, when you watch the clock, it doesn't go by as fast. So I was just in my head.
You just talk
thinking
about windows and stuff.
Yeah, I was just thinking about surfing and whatever.
Yeah.
Random other stuff.
But honestly, it works. Like steam room and ice baths, it's really good. So I'm just gonna really quickly break down how I do steam room and ice bath. With steam room, I go in there for 15 minutes, and then I go out, rinse myself in cold water, go back in for 8 minutes, rinse, go back for 5 minutes, and I'm out, and then I do my warm up stretches and everything at the gym, and then I just deck it back home.
Deck it.
Like I have a gym membership that I paid for like a whole year, $20 a month, and I only rarely train at the gym. I only did steam room and foam rolling. That's it, and just left. Like the employees would look at me, they would say hi, and in like 30 minutes I'll be gone. And then for ice baths, I originally just did 15 minutes in a Bunnings bin, and then I'd warm up. But nowadays I have access to contrast therapy, which is what Alex has been doing. 4 minutes ice, then you do 4 minutes hot, and you repeat that for 4 rounds. So 4 rounds of ice, 4 rounds of hot.
And then we did
Or 5 rounds of hot or 6 rounds of hot.
Yeah.
And then we did the 8 minute ice to finish it off today.
Yeah.
that was actually easier than I expected. The last
It's not
round,
that bad.
the extra 4 minutes added on doesn't actually hit me.
Yeah, once you
hard.
pass that point at the beginning, I feel like it's just
Yeah.
just have that little fight the whole time.
Yeah, I
whole way
was
through
I
and
was
you're
scared
fine.
when you guys were like, right, we're going double last round. I'm like, fuck. But
You
then,
didn't pussy out though.
hey, I'm not
Power
one to
through.
pussy out
Yeah,
around
good.
these guys. Like that's
That's why you're on our couch. That's why you're on our couch.
Yeah,
One
exactly.
of us.
That's right.
One of us.
I'm
More
also
so
got
now.
shirt on and everything.
Yeah, you got Tourette's now too.
Am I the first back in Sydney with a shirt? Oh no, Anthony's gone.
No.
No,
No,
there's
yeah.
a bunch of people with Sydney. Well, a bunch of people I know in Sydney with.
Oh yeah, because he
So
bought some
I
shirts
took,
down when he
yeah, I
came.
took,
down.
Oh,
a, I
right,
took
okay.
a whole supply. I went to Sydney for a wedding a couple of weeks ago
Yeah, fair.
Mm.
and just tried to get some stuff out there. But yeah, we haven't fully released yet. So
Yeah, fully released will be at the comp.
We're still cooking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Couple
shirts,
weeks.
I'm thinking. Well, not thinking. I'm going to do a second drop of Meadowbank merch this summer.
Oh,
That's kind of the only thing I'm
Keen.
going to release on
Disclose,
that
yeah.
information.
Just one
sort
shirt
of a fresh design. Yeah, I'm probably just going to do one design.
and no singlets or anything.
Probably not singlets. I think the t-shirts definitely outsell the singlets. From what I've seen, at least, like everyone always wears
Everyone
their
loves a
Meadowbank
shirt,
shirt, but
yeah.
like
Mm.
you're not going to be wearing your singlet all the time. You know,
Or
it's
a
not as
shirt.
versatile.
Might change now going into summer though as well.
That's true. That's
Well.
true. But I don't think I'll get it. I don't think I'll get it done by like start of December at least.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Okay.
So keep your eyes out on the
Just
Instagram
shirts?
for the shirts. Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is my first time doing any of that. So
It's good fun.
yeah, look, I've had some experience with a bit of Photoshop and stuff. So I'll see if I can
Whip something up.
make a nice design. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So looking forward to it then.
Stay tuned.
Can't wait for a copy.
Yeah, I'll have to ship some up to Goldie.
mm.
It was last to notice.
We all noticed.
Freeze, don't move. Is it Meritus 3 look out on Alex?
It came up with like a warning or something, and said like, "Oh,
Said
now
like-
now I know what you're talking about." Look,
Yeah,
I'm
see,
looking at camera
yeah.
3.
But when you
Does
put it on the
look
big one,
blurry.
I think it's just maybe.
Yeah, there goes a whole entire.
I think there's a
setup.
smudge on the screen of the
Thank you, mate.
display.
It's just house.
Hey?
I think there's a smudge on that LCD screen.
There could
where
be,
Alex
but
is.
when I go up close
Yeah, but-
to it,
No, I reckon I'm fine.
Unless it really isn't a blurry spot.
when I go up close to it, it just does not look blurry whatsoever.
Yeah.
probably
Maybe
'cause the
we do
exposure's-
need glasses.
The exposure.
Maybe we don't have 20. Yeah, maybe Jordan and Isaac's eye conditions are contagious.
Yeah.
Been living with them too long.
All right.
We're back.
Yeah.
Nothing ever happened.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened at all. That's all right.
Bit of this, bit of that.
Yeah.
Couple
bit of
couplers?
that.
Nothing wrong with it.
What's the next order of business, eh?
Next order of business, you reckon?
Well, we're just talking about shirts and stuff. So
Mm.
any comp talk on your guys' end?
Or 3 weeks out now. This will be
Yeah,
up.
not long.
This will be up 2 weeks out.
Yeah, it will be.
Exciting.
So yeah, get around it.
Website will be up now.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
talk about
website
competition.
is
Yeah.
live. Website is live
Oh,
when
yeah.
if you're hearing this.
Yeah.
Website is live.
Should be all
For
done
Via
now.
Valenti.
Let's talk
Check
about
it out on the-
competition because I feel like it's actually a very valuable thing. When I first started with Javier and like our little community there, I didn't feel ready for a comp, but he said, "Do you want to do the freestyle?" I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll do it." I wasn't expecting anything, but I knew that, hey, look, I'm gonna have fun and just do what I do at a competition where everyone is doing the same sport that I love. So I just sent it, got knocked out first round by the person that won the comp, which was Robbie. But I had a lot of fun and it really got me out of my comfort zone. How was your first experience there, Tyler?
My first comp was actually at the first street workout one at the Fitness Expo because I didn't compete in Melbourne. It was great. Yeah, it was like similar to you. I didn't think I was like, I didn't want to compete because I didn't feel like I was ready as an athlete. But you guys just said, Tyler, just do it. I had freaking heaps of fun. It was good to like finally,
Sent it as well.
yeah, it was good to just like, it's just such a good environment. You're surrounded by all these crazy athletes. Everyone motivates you to like push you to like your limits and like, oh, come on, you can do it. And you're like, yeah, I can't do it. Then you just send some crazy stuff, or it just brings out the best in you. Like you gain an extra 10 strength points at events like that, which is always good. But yeah, I loved my first experience. Your first experience is coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, so I actually really enjoyed my first experience in a comp as well.
I said that yours is coming up.
Yeah, no, it is. But I went to the fitness expo and I didn't compete in freestyle, but I competed in the
Little challenges.
the little, I don't know, sets and reps, I guess.
Yeah.
And that was pretty fun. So then the thing I noticed, I haven't even competed in the freestyle yet, but I noticed just from going to that comp was you get like the biggest euphoria after comps.
Yeah.
Like you get the best, like you
I felt sore.
train like crazy
Yeah,
after comps.
You get the comp buff.
Yeah.
comp
And
buff.
it's so overpowered.
Everyone's going to get the belly and comp off here.
Yeah.
I know-
Double buff.
I know if you
The
go
buff
back,
stack though.
when I go back on my stories, every time I finish a comp, you always see like a strength increase for me. It's just so like euphoric, as Blake said. And
I've never done a comp either, so I've got no idea.
freestyle comps are a different beast.
Yeah.
It's a different
reps
beast
assessment.
because
Yeah.
it's like you versus an opponent, and you also get to see who wins and how hard they battle. So
Yeah.
definitely do recommend competing. And I'm trying to push out intermediate divisions because I find it so valuable as beginners to compete.
Big time.
And it's interesting as well
It
because
can be intimidating.
there's so many unknown people that are competing.
Yeah, that was what I was going to say when you brought up intermediate. That's the thing I'm most excited for in terms of like, obviously you want to see the best athletes. We already know who they are though, at least us in the community. We know who like the
Who to
main
watch out for.
contenders are going to be in the advanced like top
Category.
level. You know what I mean? Because it's very hard for it to change realistically. You know what I mean? From last year, the year before, because the best are going to keep getting better. And the ones who are below them will keep getting better as well. But it's going to be hard to make such significant improvement that you like drastically overtake. You know what I mean? Like there'll be slight changes. Like someone gets slightly better and someone doesn't improve to the same degree.
Yeah.
But more or less the pool for the elites is the same. But for intermediate, bro,
Or
Like,
dark horses.
yeah, like you could be training for a year and then just come out and like
Yeah, I feel like for the advanced category as well, it's like we see them all their posts all the time, so we see their progression as well.
Yeah.
So we kind of know what level they're at. I'm sure they're cooking a little bit there.
'Cause
but
no, like,
we know what
there's-
level they're going at.
There isn't like real time strategic alterations that you make in freestyle comps. You just do your best routine. Opponent does the best routine. Like CJ versus Ethan, or maybe Michael versus Rice. It's exciting stuff. Just seeing them being pitted against each other. But in a way, it's if you watched a lot of them, then it's almost predictable. But I know everyone's pulling out new stuff all the time. But like the intermediate is so unknown. It's so exciting. Like imagine like Sam versus Massey. Sam versus Massey, bro. That'll be insane.
Yeah. Intermediate's gonna
So
be
how are you
fun.
figuring out advanced and intermediate at the comp?
I
Good
actually
question.
was just about to ask that question because
So
I'm
everyone-
struggling with that question with my own comp.
Yeah. So you read the post. Everyone does a 30-second qualifying round, and then the
Oh,
judges
okay.
are just going to bundle people in an advanced and intermediate. Yeah.
Yeah, because we had a bunch of people reach out to the Meadowbank Mondays account when I made the sets and reps comp post, and I put in the caption, like it's a long caption, but at the end I was like, if you're not sure whether you want to go in advanced or intermediate, send us a message and we'll put you into one of the categories. And did we have like 2 people messages? I think maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, just like Cedric and Cedric messaged me. That's an interesting story, but no, I'm not really checking the Meadowbank messages these
Yeah,
days.
I there was one guy I was talking to, and I was like, mate, I have no idea. Like, I feel like if you're not sure, there's no downside to doing opens. We changed the pricing this year though in the beginners category, so there's only one prize for first place, so to sort of incentivize people to go into opens. Because I was looking at the points from last year's comp, and there was a lot of beginners that had points that could have been fine in the opens comp. They wouldn't have lost opens comp, but they were in beginners, which I don't think should be the case.
I thought back on that first comp, it was like if you're a first timer, you're in the beginners.
Yeah, but there's
But
Oh,
I think that's what it kind of was.
I guess it is
to
called
grouping.
first timers, but
Yeah.
like it's gonna be my first comp. I'm not gonna be competing in first timers.
Yeah, I didn't compete in the first timers.
Yeah.
I first did it.
Yeah.
Like I get it. Ultimately, it is up to each athlete, but like it's just it's hard to pick
I think for
where
most,
everyone goes.
yeah, I think for most people it's pretty obvious whether you're going to be like in the first timers or beginner or intermediate or whatever it is or advanced.
Yeah.
For most people.
Yep.
And if you're unsure, you might as well just send it and go in advanced because like
That's what I think.
the worst thing that happens is you get humbled and then you go back and train harder and you come back next time and pump people.
From my experience, because I was doing counting for beginners or for first timers, the beginners are really like bubbled in on one side of the wall because we have like that wall dividing the advanced and the first timers. Now they'll all like group together and they'll get cheered on by the other beginners, and obviously I'll be motivating them and counting their reps and stuff. But then when you're in the first timer, you're more likely to win, which is how Connor won. Yeah. And he just like smoked the people out of the competition, and he got the prize. That's cool and all, but in advanced comp, it's actually really exciting because you get counted by, or that year you got counted by Bryden and Hector, and you'd be competing against like Jacob, Tyler, Jordan, Harry, and then you get cheered on by these crazy athletes.
Goats.
Yeah, you get cheered by goats, and like there's a bigger crowd for advanced because obviously there's more people watching, so everyone just crowds around you, and the hype is like better. But for the beginners, there was only a small group, not many people watching them, so you're more likely to win that one. But if you want to challenge yourself and actually have a great time, Opens is definitely where it's at.
Yeah. That's sort of what I told the guy who messaged us. I was like, you know what, if you're not sure, mate, give Opens a go. I checked out his page. He looks decently strong, so I don't think he'll struggle.
Your reps. Well, your count for each category won't change. The only thing that will change is what category you're in. Like if you do,
Well, I mean,
open
the first timers do
first timers. Amount of
first timers
pull-ups you
do
is the amount of
push-ups,
pull-ups.
so that's extra points on the first timers. But that's the only thing.
Yeah. Happen again.
Yeah, Ong. You heard that one? Yeah, Ong.
Frong,
Yeah, Frong. Oh, he knows it. Where you heard that one from? You hear it
bro.
from
You
us?
guys talk about it, yeah.
Actually?
Yeah, dude.
What,
you
on the potty?
mentioned
On the potty?
Multiple
mentioned
times.
Frong.
You
Yeah,
mentioned
right.
Frong multiple times.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Frong.
Frong. Lovely Frong. Oh, well. It's been awesome to have you here.
Yeah, I'm eternally grateful for you guys just letting me crash, to be honest.
Yeah. It's good fun as well. Having
We're gonna say no.
Well, I mean, you
We
will.
see you
could.
bloody every day.
You
The
will,
free
could.
week when we were
Or
Sydney.
you could ask me to pay rent for the week.
Well,
But
if you asked to come back again, we might consider it. No, joking.
Just a shirt.
But yeah, for real, it has been good though. It's good to see like you again as well because we're not in Sydney anymore, so it's good to
Catch
touch
up.
base. You know.
Yeah, that's like the main reason I came up here anyway.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, it's
See
good
how
because
they're
like
doing.
we're basically like only in our little bubble. Like it's pretty much just us four. We don't
Yeah.
I don't know if
really.
that's a good thing, to be honest.
We're not really. Well, you can tell we're going a little bit crazy.
Yeah. Oh man.
Just don't do anything else.
Bro, we don't go out. Like we have a few people that we train with, and we go to Southport on Fridays on the one weekend that it's not raining. But
Don't do anything. Yeah, we're.
I wonder who the next person to stay with us is. I kind of
Who?
like a fifth wheeler.
Yeah, me too.
it'll be Trent.
Yeah.
It'll be
Trent.
like
Oh,
Trent the Trout.
Trent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna break his mind. Bro.
They're gonna be
I'm
It's not
traumatized.
gonna be the same.
Nah, he'll be good.
I fit right in.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
He's tough. He's tough. Yeah.
Nah, sweet.
Yeah, but is he
He's a-
silly?
Yeah, that's what I mean though. He's tough in that regard. Like he's mentally he'll hold it together.
Oh, beauty.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good, good.
More so than some other people.
Yeah, because we've had Chris Kamikaze, we've had
Mm.
Anthony, and then like Amelie and Danny visited us, and they already got broken just by watching us put on
Yeah, I
Halloween
think they saw us
costumes.
and they're like, they're delusional.
Who's this?
Amelia and
Oh, yeah.
well, we're trying to put on the bloody Halloween costume.
But yeah, and then there's Alex.
I reckon you guys aren't as bad as you think you are.
Oh,
Oh, I think, bro, if we're gonna be like realistic
Yeah,
about
we're
it,
not bad.
this is what you get when you have like a bunch
living
of
with your mates.
like young 20-year-olds living
Yeah.
together in a house, like training and do it. Like we do everything together. You know?
Yeah.
So-
I reckon if you guys weren't silly and all over
boring.
the place,
Yeah,
then
fuck.
Then I would actually want to kill him.
not normal.
A little bit more than you already do.
Yeah. It just makes the whole thing actually enjoyable.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, what's wrong with not laughing every 5 minutes?
Oh, man, it's great.
Yeah.
Man, I couldn't recommend anything more to anyone if you're listening and you're this age or younger. There's literally nothing better, dude. There's not a single decision I've made in my life that was a better decision than
Same.
moving out.
But I think
doing
it also
this.
depends on who you're going in with as well.
Well, yeah, you
Like
have
everyone's
to know.
accountable here, and everyone does. Like if someone is slacking, we'll say it, and no one does get offended when it does get brought up. And one of the boys complains about something in the house,
Yeah.
when they complain, we're not like, well,
We have like minuscule beef all the
yeah,
time.
but like
it's just like
get over it.
Yeah.
Everyone does that something that everyone has that one thing we're not doing or something that they're not doing right, but like,
yeah,
carry it somewhere else. You know,
for sure.
no one's like slacking in that regard.
Starting a
Everyone does
business
something.
is definitely pretty tough though when you have to pay bills and pay rent.
Yeah, but it's
tough.
good. It's
But it's-
eye opening,
yeah.
right?
yeah,
It's good.
but
I love
think
it.
about the long run.
I personally love it. Business is my calling, bro.
Yeah. When I was maybe like 7 in high school, I thought like moving out with a bunch of mates would just all get PCs and just play games.
Pretty sure we
And,
all
like,
thought that.
and just get like takeaway food all the time and do stupid
Okay,
stuff.
well, that's kind of
Stay up at
For
night.
you, I fucking
This is
hate
like
getting takeaway food, to be
completely
honest.
different, but I like it.
No, I thought I was gonna come here and be eating like Whole Foods all the time. I turned up. What did we have for dinner first night?
Well, to be
Domino's.
fair,
Our fridge was broken. Our fridge was broken. So we can't have it.
Yeah,
We
okay,
can't
I'll give
have
you that.
bloody food.
Healthy-
Now this fridge
You
is
saw what I
working.
bought today.
Yeah.
I bought like 70
4
bucks worth
stacks
of meat.
red meat. Yeah,
Literally,
I was like, okay, this is
Yeah,
this
that's
is
what
now
our diet's
cooking.
normally. That's what our
Yeah,
diet's
yeah,
normally.
Yeah,
like.
okay, great. Because I turned up and like, hold on
Yeah,
a
that was
second.
an exception.
Yeah.
I don't think I had fast food till like you came.
Yeah, and then we had
At
it 3
all.
days in a row.
Yeah.
the thing as well though is like if you look at me, you could tell that I can intake as much fast food as I want and it won't affect me.
Yeah, like
At all.
unless like me, I become a fat fuck.
Like I literally need
This
the
guy.
body dysmorphia is raging right now.
Disclaimer: he's not fat.
Yeah. Disclaimer: I am.
Yeah. So that's the difference as well. Like you can be eating like shit food and then just not training or being healthy whatsoever. But like you can also eat shit food for some benefit. Like I'm eating shit food to put on some weight and it's helping with my training. Isaac knows.
Yeah. I mean, we're both progressing.
Yeah, exactly. And
I'm
we're eating shit. If
Yeah,
I was
I am.
eating healthy food, it wouldn't be possible for me to put on the weight that I need to just get
Yeah.
that extra bit of strength.
When I was first training, I was bulking. I was going proper dirty bulks. Like I was just eating cows all the time, basically. Not cows, but like I was heavy into the KFC. Let's just say that much.
It's
Zinging
chicken,
on
that's
was
not cow.
Yeah, mate.
Interesting two-legged cow with feathers you got there.
With wings, mate. That's a funny looking cow.
Yeah, no, I was just chowing down on the zinger burgers and stuff, and that was
Good
how
choice.
I put all my initial
Nothing beats
weight
a
on.
Zinger box.
Yeah. So what was the sitch then? Like what weight were you?
So
then?
I was at 70 kilos. I was the cross country swimming
At
kid.
what height?
Same height I am now,
Which is?
basically 190.
So
6'3".
70 kilos at 190.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
And
that's pretty
then-
lean, eh?
yeah. I was pretty skinny.
Yep.
And then I put on pretty quick. I went to 85 in about 4 or 5 months.
From 70 to 85.
From 70 to 85.
4 or 5 months.
Yeah. I was just eating like
That's
a lot.
crazy.
One of my cheat codes for that is the Milo protein cereal. I'd have like 2 full bowls of that in the morning. Like first thing I do, wake up, have breakfast, 2 full bowls of Milo protein cereal. It's got a horrendous amount of sugar in it. It's probably really bad for you.
But like gains.
It's like 25% protein and it's like got a shit ton of calories in it as well. And I would just like load up 2 bowls and that was what I would have every day for like 6 months.
Eating healthy is a scam.
I feel better when I don't eat fast
Yeah,
food.
no,
Like,
it's just
feel better.
Eating healthy.
Like when we have KFC, when we have like Henry
Get
Jackson pizza and shit, I feel shit the next day. You know what I mean?
This
It's
is my
just so
this is my
processed.
diet the past 2 weeks. I wake up, I drink pre-workout. I
Wait,
don't
weren't you
I don't
putting
have
it on your
I don't
story
have
that-
breakfast until lunchtime hits. Then I'm air frying chips and chicken tenders.
Bro, weren't you putting
And
on your
then
story that you were having pre-workout for the first time like a month ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you're just
He
offended.
And then
scooped
at
it.
night time
I
I
gave
have
him the goods, bro.
McDonald's
Oh my
or
God.
Domino's pizza. And then I eat frozen berries. And then I wake up again and drink pre-workout.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I've been doing.
insane.
And I've been progressing and I've been feeling pretty shit. But
Do you?
Yeah, that's why he's having pre-workout every
Yeah,
fucking
interesting.
like
day.
feeling shit or progressing.
No feeling shit. I know you've been progressing.
I mean, I
I'm
stand
watching.
up and then I want to faint.
Oh, true.
Yeah, but I don't think that's to do with what you're eating.
Yeah,
Is it-
I'm just Asian. Every Asian I've talked to has low iron.
Yeah, right.
Eat a
But
screw.
bro, do you think it's from
You're
low
eating so
iron
much
though?
red meat though.
I don't
How
think
are
it's
you
from
low
low
in
iron.
iron?
He's not. He's having chicken.
You got to blame it on something.
What do you drink? Are you drinking
I think-
water?
Yeah, with pre-workout.
Exactly. So you're dehydrated. No wonder you stand up and you want to faint.
Yeah, could, might, won't, maybe.
Is that just like throw a couple words that come to your
is.
brain into a
I think-
sentence and hope they
I think he had a
work?
brain fart with the low iron there.
Yeah, could, might, won't, maybe. Yeah. Because I've been feeling amazing.
I feel like
Last-
shit.
the last
That's what we
week,
have shit for.
I've had Hungry Jacks every single day for 5 or 6 days in a row now, and I've felt better.
You get
than I
Uber Eats every day.
No.
He is the
Not
Uber
anymore.
driver.
Not anymore.
Fairly often. I
The
feel
last 5 or 6 days in a row, I've had Hungry Jacks every single day, like a 1,500 calorie meal, and I feel amazing. I wake up amazing, go to sleep amazing, stomach feels amazing. But I'm taking supplements, vitamin D. Should jump on vitamin
D3.
D.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
yummy gummies.
I've been
man.
chewing on those every day.
like.
you
Yeah, I
know.
have
Oh,
one
have
in the
you?
morning.
Yeah, I do that, and then I have the Vita Boost, the
Yeah.
like Barocca tablets, but the vitamin
I've been having
ones.
them as well. With
Yeah.
my pre-workout.
I'm kind of done with feeling good though. Like, I mean, I do ice baths every morning. I have a broken ankle and I mentally torture myself for not being able to do planche. Like just having low
I think we all have
iron,
mental
standing up
problems
and almost fainting almost feels good compared to everything else.
Compared.
Well, because
Yeah.
it makes you feel like you're grinding.
I do miss ketamine though.
Yeah, wow. Yeah. Here we go.
Cut that.
Someone clip that, please.
The context. He
He's
had
a
it,
ketamine
he,
addict.
He had it at a hospital when he was getting surgery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the
when his leg
context.
when it went the other way.
Yeah. And it turns out I was allergic to it. Yeah, got
You
a
had
rash on my
ketamine since?
chest.
Oh, okay, that's a good thing. What do you think about it though?
I think about it all the time. Ever since I first did ketamine,
Bro, when you did
It's
it, you
been on
told
my
me,
mind.
"Oh, that was so bad. I hate drugs."
He does hate him.
but it stays on my mind.
I think.
now
I think the only reason it stays in his mind is he's never experienced anything else like it.
Yeah.
So now you're coming around to it. Is that right?
I just
if you
keep
got
thinking
keg,
about it.
Considering failing another alley
Yeah.
Did the other leg? Do you know how to heal it?
could, might, won't, maybe.
Do you know supplier?
Yeah, the bars at the park.
Yeah, right. We just devolved.
Yeah,
Devolved. Yeah, sick
Isaac
one.
Tang's now a ketamine addict.
I'm so clipping that.
Who enjoys fainting?
Yeah.
Yeah, low iron for the win, I guess. I have
Yeah.
no comment on calories bulking. I just eat.
Well,
Eat
yeah,
more-
that's basically
eat more,
what I
get
do
big.
now.
Eat less, get small. Math.
Like I just eat
I just
whatever.
boy math it.
Average mum's food enjoyer. Like
Yeah,
Average mum's food enjoyer. I kind of miss mum's food, to be
me
fair.
too.
it's the best, bro.
I know
It's
Isaac
just the
does.
best.
Yeah, I do.
You missed the full fridge.
Yeah,
Snacks.
yeah. Always bulk up at home.
Mm.
Yeah. I
Very
can't.
much so.
It's impossible to fast when there's such good food in the fridge. Like
Yeah.
when I went to Sydney last time for knockout, I pre-ordered pickles.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I like eating pickled vegetables, bro.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Pre-ordered it because you gotta wait for it to ferment properly before you can chuck them in your gob. And I pre-ordered cheesecake as well. Deck that, and
I feel like it wasn't your mother's fault. It's just you just ordered all the food.
well, what else am I gonna eat at home?
Cheesecake.
What we've been eating here.
Air fried bloody air fried dino
Some
nuggets.
chicken tendies and some potato gems, bro.
Yeah.
Nothing beats some red meat for fucking every meal.
Yeah, no, I actually can get behind the red meat. I don't eat enough red meat, but it's just so expensive.
Oh, we've been eating raw liver.
Oh yeah. the
Oh
raw
yeah,
liver.
how was
Yeah.
that?
It was pretty awful. To be
I haven't
honest.
had it
I had it twice in like.
Ain't no way I'm going within 10 feet of that.
You know what I figured out it actually tastes like? Tastes like iodine. I don't know if you've ever had like the throat
No.
gargles with
is that what
iodine.
it tastes like?
A little bit,
Ugh.
a little bit, but it's like very metallic.
Like high in iron.
Yeah, it's very high in iron, and I'm sure it's got a
That's
bunch
what
of
I
copper and
Yeah.
magnesium in it as well. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna come around eventually to maybe try it. But
Yeah, like I mean, just what's the worst thing can happen?
Well,
You
you
don't like the taste of it. Oh no.
use gag a bit, unless you're John. John doesn't have a gag
Well,
reflex.
yeah, I
Jordan doesn't have anything, bro. That guy's a machine. He literally just eats like anything. He could literally eat anything he wants.
yeah, like
Yeah.
raw eggs, just with the shell.
With the shell.
yeah, with the shell, that was insane,
a
bro. That
block
was
of butter
absurd.
instead of a drink. He just has his meal and then just, man,
that was my favorite thing. He was sitting at the table eating a steak and he had a block of butter.
I'm
Steak,
jealous.
butter.
I'm jealous, bro. I'm jealous because I have to give so
Insane.
many shits.
Yeah, but
away
I'm
when
worried
I
about
eat.
his cholesterol.
We were watching the bloody Joe Rogan
Yeah.
thing
I
today
d-
about
yeah,
cholesterol.
what-
Yeah.
Watch really interesting podcast.
I listened to that all day
Joe
while you
Rogan
guys
and
were
Gary
watching
Brecker. If you don't know who Gary Brecker is,
Make your life longer.
Super interesting guy.
Talking a bit about folic acid.
Folic, yeah, he hates folic acid. He swears by vitamin D. He says it's arguably the most important
think we take
vitamin
D3, yeah.
vitamin for the body. It's the only vitamin that is naturally produced within the body, the only one. And then he also talks a lot about 5-MTHF, which is 5-methylfolate or something.
Oh, that one.
Something about methylfolate.
Yeah. I think it's called 5-methylfolate.
Yeah,
I
it's
ordered
good
some
for
of
you.
it to suss out how it goes, but those are the things he swears by. But watch the podcast, super interesting stuff.
Yeah, I was
Really
sitting at the
interesting.
table studying, and then I was like,
I was eavesdropping the whole time.
yeah, I was
Just
listening
sitting
to it in the
and listening.
background, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna sit down and watch this.
Yeah, really interesting guy.
So when you say that, like in people in the past that just die by age like 23 or like
It's
30?
just there's just
What's
a bunch of stuff that like increases the rate of cancer. And
like back in the day, when do we used to die? Like 30?
A lot younger than now.
well, that's because we don't have healthcare though.
Yeah.
Like, well, we didn't have healthcare.
Yeah.
That's the main reason.
Yeah.
But like in like the 19 whatevers, like early 1900s, the quality of food was just better
Yeah.
because there was no processing, there was no garbage, there was no high sugar. Like, it was simply just good whole foods.
Hmm. We need to fix that.
Yeah. That's good. The other one's overheated. Just switch it on and off. That should be fine.
Yeah.
Switch it on and off. It was too hot before.
Little toggle switch at the top. Did the lens pop out?
Click the
Now
button.
click the. Now
There you go.
tap the front shutter button. Yep.
It's on now.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened.
I think the most interesting thing that guy was talking about on that podcast
Yep.
was Americans say when they go to Europe and they eat the food there, they feel great.
Bro.
Oh really?
Yeah, yeah.
European food's
Oh,
goated.
no, you said this. Fuck living in America, dude.
America would be one of the last places I'd want to live. There's a couple
It
reasons.
would be the absolute last place.
I don't think it would be the dead last. I think there's probably some places in like the Midwest that'd be okay. But the funny thing he was talking about is like all the American processed food is so full of garbage that when everyone goes to Europe and gets like local good food, they
Tastes
feel
good as well.
it tastes good, it's good for you, and they feel great, and they're on holidays and they're like, oh, I had however many drinks last night, and I'm not hungover this morning because they're actually getting good quality food in them. I mean, we can talk about healthy food being a scam, like Isaac said, but like if you want to actually feel good and you want to sort of fuel your
Like
body
he feels like
properly,
shit and he's eating shit food. But if you ate good
Yeah.
food,
but if you want to like actually feel good and like fuel yourself properly and make sure you're getting all the stuff you need, there's so much crap.
I felt like a
In
machine in
common
Europe. with
food.
all the food.
Yeah.
He said he had a lot to say. I think one of the key takeaways I got from it was the general sort of thesis he had, especially when it came to diet, eating, and supplementing, was that most people try and do the extreme, absolute, like sort of elite health supplementation stuff rather than just starting from the basics. So like if you just eliminate like some key things or try to minimize some key things that you shouldn't have in your diet, eliminate some bad things and make sure you're getting the most important things, that should be your starting point, because like more than half the population doesn't do that right. And they're so focused on like, oh, you have like a tiny bit too much salt, or like avoid too much of like
Nitpicky.
too much saturated fat, and like, you know, this and that and yada yada, where the most crucial things, like he said, don't have anything that has folic acid in it.
I don't know
and-
how you could know that though, because it's not like listed as an ingredient, is it?
He said it's when you buy stuff, it's called refined or something else. There's two terms, basically saying like,
Is that
it was
the
refined and
deodorized
something-
thing?
Yeah, it was refined and something else. But it's basically on all like grains and stuff like that in the US. Here, we're actually really lucky in Australia. Everything's very organic here, not sprayed with much
Pesticides.
yeah, like the food here is really, really clean. But yeah, just generally like Isaac said, healthy food is a scam. Well, it kind of is, in the sense that, like, you know, if you eat the fast food stuff versus like some steak and rice and whatever, if you're so worried about like all that, and, you know, like the different diet crazes and all these things, if you're so focused on all that and you're ignoring like the bare minimum basic stuff, of course it's a scam.
That's
You're
like
scamming
me.
yourself.
I don't know the deep stuff. I just know the basics.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the key takeaway I got from it. And then I just went based off that. I listened to him basically round out the main things, like the most important things that he said, which was the 5-methylfolate, vitamin D. He also spoke about grounding, which was
I
found
think
super interesting.
Like
it's pretty
mentally
interesting.
grounding, or like
no,
grounding
no,
to
like
the
like
earth?
getting your
physically
feet
grounding.
touching the
Like the thing
ground.
we don't train with shoes.
yeah.
Like the theory of it is very interesting. I have some questions about the validity of it though, because the whole theory of it is that when you wake up in the morning, you're meant to go outside and get your feet in contact with the ground to discharge any electric charge you have on you, which like makes sense. If you've got a particular voltage and you touch the ground, it's going to discharge everything. But I don't know how much truth there is to that statement, but I think just going outside in general is in the morning is a good thing.
Yeah, he
Getting
spoke
your
about
eyes open to the
he
sun.
spoke about first light, red light, in the morning. I'm actually gonna try that.
So what's that? What's red light in the morning?
Infrared.
So
sauna.
like, well,
Or just
not
like
really, not infrared.
See red.
Yeah, in the morning, like first light, dawn, it's actually like red light, because the blue light gets dissipated because it's a shorter frequency, and the light has to travel further through the atmosphere because the sun is on the horizon. So in the morning, if you
Look at the
wake
sun.
up and see red light, like at dawn, it has to be like at sunrise, like around, I think it's like 5:45 or something here. It would be what, 6:45 in Sydney. Yeah, so I'm gonna try it out and see how it goes. But yeah, he had a lot to say about that.
4:48
4:48 here.
sunrise.
Yeah, the sun's up early here, mate.
4:48. Yeah, right. I guess
Dude,
I'm getting up
when
at
I went
4:48.
when I went surfing, what time did I go surfing? It was like 7, right?
Yeah,
The sun was well up at 7 in the morning,
Yeah.
which is like compared to Sydney with daylight savings and whatever.
Even when we get up at like 6 to go P3, it's
Yeah,
pretty
like this,
sunny.
the day is on at 6 o'clock.
It's great. I love it.
I don't know. I don't want to wake up at 5 o'clock and the sun be up. Like
I
that's
feel like they'll get you up quicker.
nah, but it's just
Days longer.
yeah, I guess. But the night's also shorter. Oh,
We're inside in it's like we go out.
yeah, true.
We just train.
4:48.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I just had to double check.
Think
Couldn't
I'm a
believe
liar?
it. Couldn't believe it, to be honest. Oh well.
Well, that was one thing I was a bit shocked about on the first night when I woke up. It was 6 o'clock in the morning and someone's alarm went off. I don't know whose it was.
Me.
Yeah, that's
I
probably
wake
what
up
it
everyone every morning.
was. Yeah, just your little twinkly alarm at 6 in the morning, and the window is just like already sun in my face. I'm like, Jesus Christ, 6, shouldn't it be like slightly dark outside?
This fucking camera's good. You can't win with it.
Hey, Isaac.
I got
Ordering
it.
a pizza. Are you ordering pizza right now?
no.
It looks like you're ordering a pepperoni pizza as we speak.
Don't lie.
Fuck. I could
This
go-
guy.
What's the time? 11:20. Jesus.
It's 11:20 at night. Is Domino's even open?
Yeah, probably closes at 12.
I was asking Isaac because he knows he's on the bloody website.
Oh well, looks like Isaac's
large
getting a bit distracted,
pepperoni
and
pizza.
this conversation's become a little bit disjointed.
Can
But
you get a sprinkle of iron on that pizza?
it's been a pleasure to have you on, Alex.
Yeah,
and
look,
and
I've
a
been-
pleasure to have you here as well for the short time that you're here. It's a pity we won't see you for the comp.
Yeah, bit of a
But
shame.
You guys will.
Some clashing
Aren't you guys
dates.
going back to Sydney for the reps and sets? Or you, oh
I'm
no, you're
not,
not.
I'm
Isaac and Jordan.
Yeah, a
are.
couple of the other boys will.
Isaac is, so
Um,
I'll see Isaac for that. But
yeah.
other than that, I've been a pleasure to be on with you guys.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you
good to
very much
see
for
you
having me.
Yeah, for sure. And suss out, if you're listening, suss out the reps and sets comp in Sydney, especially if you're from
Meadowbank.
Sydney. But yeah, that and
Good
then
fun.
Burley Battles. So that's all sorted to come very soon. So
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can't wait. What was the date for the reps and sets comp again?
27th of November, Meadowbank
Where
Park.
at Meadowbank. Fantastic. No, beautiful.
sick one. All right,
Yeah.
until next time.
Yeah.
Take care.
Dunsies.
Bye bye.
Isaac wants to eat his pizza.